Dear friends, I'm back with another machine on the Vulnhub, which is VulnImage 1. The link will be added into the description section below so that you can download it. Although this machine is a bit old, I think this machine, as you can see, the release date is 2010. However, this machine is not so much easy. Before we move forward, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. I do appreciate your help and support. So now we can get started. We can switch into the Kali Linux VM, which is running with VMware. As you can see, first of all, we need to do the host discovery or discover the IP address of the target with a map. And I use option of SN, the normal SN, to do the host discovery. And this is the machine what we are trying to exploit or penetrate into. Next, what we are going to do is to do the map scanning, of course, to save time of this video. I have already done that earlier. So for now, we just get out the result of the map scanning. As you can see over here, I used some options like scene scan. Maybe I can zoom in the terminal so the font would be bigger and then you can see what's going on exactly. And then I use the option of the version scan, the default script scan, and then I use the option of uppercase P, N, not to do the live testing for the target. And then I use the option of -P- to do the comprehensive scan. And then output the result into this file with the option of ON. From a map scanning, we can tell that the target has several open ports. For example, 22, which is running SSH service, and also the exact version number can be retrieved by the map. And then 25, which is running SMTP or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And the next one is 80, which is running HTTP service. And next two are used by Samba service. And the next one is 3306 is running MySQL service. And the last one, 777, which is running CBT, of course, because there is question mark at the end, so the map cannot get the exact information about this service. So maybe if it's necessary, we can check it manually by the tool like Netcat to connect to the target on this port number. So what we are going to do next? I think if you have already followed my channel, I stated very much if the target has a service related to the file sharing, for example, like FTP service, like Samba service, like NFS service, such services should become the first choice to enumerate for us. In this case, should be Samba. So how to enumerate? We can use the tool of SMB client with option of uppercase L to display the Samba related information. However, protocol negotiation to server failed, which is fine, which is acceptable for this machine. Even we do not need to utilize this surface or sample surface to penetrate into the target. Next one, from the map we can tell that the target is running my circle surface. So we need to check whether this target has weak credentials vulnerability for the my circle surface. So how to test? We can use my circle client 2, and I autocomplete this command. We can use root as a password. Failed or access denied as we expected. So what we are going to do next is to do immersion for the web application both manually and automatically. The web surface is running on the port number 80 or default port number. I've already opened up the browser, so now we can put the IP address of the target into the address bar. I can see nothing very much we get from the target, and we can check the source code, which is also very simple. And next, of course, we need to click this link, a super link. We got the post, and we can post a new entry. Maybe before we try to post a new entry, we need to check the source code of this page, which doesn't display any sensitive information. Now we go back and post a new entry. Before we try to do the automatic immersion with a variety of tools, we need to make manual immersion as extensive as possible. Here, before we try to post new entry or information, we are required to be authenticated. So we can try to use admin as password, and also password, we can use password as use admin as a password. And then title anything, title, submit, authentication error. So also we can check whether we can use the login bypass technique. This is also very standard or common practice when we cope with the web application. Password, for example, we can put anything and test, submit. Cannot verify credentials. So, and also give us very detailed error message. So maybe later we can use SQL map to do the SQL injection vulnerability testing, right? Authentication error. So maybe I need to, for example, we can put admin, password, test, submit, authenticated. So it means that we can use the login bypass technique to bypass the authentication required by this function to post a new entry. Later, we can use SQL map to do the furthermore testing against the SQLi or SQL injection vulnerability. For now, we need to do for more immersion, for example, directory immersion. Okay, so next we can use some command line utilities. For example, we can check whether we can retrieve the robots file of the target. Robots file not found, and then we can use Nicto. If we are targeting web application, the Nicto should be the first utility to make automatic immersion because it can review very rich information from the like version information, header information, allowed HTTP methods, even can enumerate out some common files or directories like admin. Of course, during the stage of the manual enumeration, we have already noticed its existence admin directory. Okay, however, we can access this directory. There are several files, like this one should be initialized database collection. I do not want to click or access this file, and also the profile.php. And we can change something. Maybe later we can to see whether we can upload the PHP code. You know, this is, after all, this is a very old machine. Maybe we can put anything, including the code, rather than the text. All right, now we go back to the browser. Yeah, this one here, setup. I do not want to access in case the machine would be broken. I'm a bit of worried about this one, okay, or this issue. And icons, I think this one usually doesn't contains useful information. Next, we can use GoBuster to do the directory enumeration. Let's press enter. You know, I always use GoBuster to do the directory brute forcing because this one is very efficient. And I use the option of X to extension to specify the extensions options like PHP, like HTML. As you can see, we got the repo. We can access this directory repo. And this is the code. Of course, we can download the code onto the local machine and then analyze it. For now, I'd like to offsite to continue our directory enumeration. My block, I think we have already knows its existence. So how to do? I think next I'd like to check whether the target, of course, we have already know that the target has the SQLI injection vulnerability. However, I'd like to exploit this vulnerability to get information or retrieve information about the target. For example, like databases, even we can get the initial shell. You know, SQL map provide the functions to run the shell command. Okay, I mean, of course, this is not a normal shell. I have already demonstrated this technique in the other videos for the other machines. So now I'd like to quit from the GoBuster, and now we go back to the login. I mean this one. Block, post new entry, and make sure we turn the proxy to Burp Suite, and then launch Burp Suite Community Edition and turn on the intercept option. And of course, just now we have already bypassed the authentication. And password. Test, submit. As you can see, we got the request or intercept the request. And then we can copy to file. We can use file name ric text. Now we can turn off intercept. Now we go back, or also we can, yeah, which is fine. Now we can use SQL map. Press enter. Oh, not this one. So maybe, yeah, as you can see, have already identified the DBMS type, which is my circle. So next we want to enumerate how many databases on the target. However, we got the error, unable to retrieve the number of databases. Also, maybe we can try to get the shell just I mentioned earlier. Default, however, not working. So I think this direction may be wrong. So how to do? We go back to another function or page, profile.php. So now we can try to use or upload the PHP reverse shell code here, and to see whether there is any firewall or filtering in place on the target. Of course, we need to get the PHP reverse shell file ready, which you can get it from the Pentest Monkey website. After you get it, you need to modify the IP address of an attacking machine. I've already done that earlier. And if you wish, you also can modify the port number. And now we can copy this entire code. Copy and go back to our browser and paste in here. And we can use admin, and also we can use the login bypass technique to bypass the authentication. Admin single and then we can intercept option to be on, submit. As you can see, we got the request, and this is the bypass, login bypass technique. And there are several parameters like username and seek and the file name. Maybe we can rename this file name to shell.php. Let's forward this request. Authentication, your signature has successfully been entered, updated. However, where is the file, the uploaded file located? I think from the GoBuster, we have already discovered the directory of the profiles. All right. So now, because after all, this is the profile.php. So I think the new profile will be saved into the profiles directory. This sounds reasonable, right? So we can access profiles. Of course, we can turn off the proxy and press enter. I think this one is the file what we've just uploaded, right? So before we access or click this link, we need to set up the listener first. Then we can click. From the status, we can tell that we can get the shell without problem, as you can see over here. And then we can spawn the bash session. We can check the version. of Python 2 is there. And we can import pty module bin bash. Now we need to do the local enumeration to elevate a privilege. There is only one normal user and the staff. Permission denied. So next we can upload the NumPy shell script to the automatic enumeration. I've already got this script ready on the Kali Linux. Next, we need to set up the web server to upload this script to the target. Now we go back to this shell. And in order to run it, we need to make it executable. And then we can run this shell script. Although this machine is a bit old, however, this machine provides us the platform where we can practice a variety of techniques. It's done, as you can see over here, and we can scroll up to see whether we can find some vector which can lead to the exploitation. Cron job information. There are several local exploits. So maybe we can use the Metasploit to make privilege escalation. Just I mentioned in the other video, even NumPy shell script can give us the possible local exploits. Before we try to use this exploit, for example, you can get the exploit from the exploit database website. We need to attempt to use the Metasploit to do the exploitation first. And if the Metasploit failed, and then we can use this local exploit, right? Because Metasploit is much more convenient and much more efficient. So now we need to generate or create the payload with the utility msfvenom. And I think I can auto-complete this command. We use the option of the P to specify the payload type. This case is Metapredator type of payload. And we need to specify the local host and the local port number. And the file type or format is ELF, which is compatible with the Linux machine. Next, we need to launch our msfconsole. Meanwhile, we can upload this payload to the target. We need to make it executable. Before we execute actually this payload, we need to set up the handler on the Kali Linux first. We can use exploit multi-handler. This is the default payload we need to modify. Modify to the payload. This payload should be the same as this one. So the simple way is to copy and paste in here. Then we can show options, set the local host to our Kali Linux. Set the local port number. This local port number must be the same as this one when we create the payload. And then we just run this module. As you can see, the handler has started. And now we can run this payload. As you can see, we got the Metapredator session And then we can background this session by press Ctrl plus Z. And then we can search suggester module, and then we can use this module. Of course, this is the post exploitation module. And then we can show options. We can set the session number to 1, and then we can run it. As you can see, the suggester module is collecting local exploits for the target, and then we'll run the automatic check for discovered exploit to see each exploit is workable for the target or is applicable for the target. Yeah, we got the first possibility. It looks like this is the glibc utility or command. As you can see, of course, for us, for you, you can neglect all information which is highlighted in red. For us, we can focus on the green ones, and we can try one by one. However, I'd like to test this module. So we can use this module. Yeah, we do not need to change the payload type. And then we can show options. We can set localhost to our Kali Linux. Set local port number to, of course, this should be different port number, like 88. And also we need to set the session number to 1. And then we can run it. As you can see, we got the second Metpreta session, which is amazing, right? And we can use get UID, which is root. If you want to get the shell or command shell, we can run shell command. We can run the ID. Also, we can spawn the bash session. And then we can navigate to root directly. Do we need to get the root flag? I'm not sure about it. No need. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day.